Hello, and welcome everyone to the Hey Listen podcast for August 11th, 2022. I am one of your hosts, Jonathan Miranda. Today, I have two of my best buddies here with me. First off, I would like to introduce everyone to my great, the Prince of all Saiyans, Mr. Seeger. Seeger's my cousin here. Welcome, Seeger. Thank you for joining us for the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
A little talking out there, Johnny, like that.
That other voice you hear in the background is none other than the master of disaster, Mr. Halfway Brooks, 420 himself.
Guten Tag.
How you doing, Brooks?
Yeah, I'm always pretty good, my friend. You know, por qué no?
I heard you were sick yesterday. 2 snakes went and bit you in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with these podcasts. Really strange animals sometimes.
Oh my god, and now he's being attacked by a rabid sloth that's cutting out his audio. What is going on these days?
Skynet, dude.
Maybe turn off noise suppression,
I have noise suppression off, my friend. I learned this long ago.
He hates noise suppression. Just to be fair, he hates noise suppression.
It's
fair enough.
It's my kid.
It's cable.
Yes.
Escape.
I'm sorry. I'm broke, man. I'm so sorry, man. I've ruined. I apologize.
All right. Since this is your first time on the show, Sniffles, I'm going to ask you one quick question, something I'm going to ask every single new person that comes on the show, and everyone knows what's coming. What's your favorite game of all time?
Final Fantasy X. It always was, it always is, and it always will be. Ever since I played it in 2001. No game experience can top it, and it's the only game I can play over and over and over again and not get tired of it. What's wrong?
Do you play it all the way through, like Final Fantasy X, and then you do 10-2?
We're not talking about 10-2. We're talking about 10.
Leave that blasphemy at home.
And yes, I understand the laughing scene is weird, but it's context. A lot of people don't understand the context of what is happening. He's trying to force happy emotions during a time of death and desperation. So, yeah. Anywho, that's my favorite game.
What's your favorite part of that game?
The laugh, I'm pretty sure, by the way.
No. It's the Blitzball. No.
Hey, that's a fair thing to say, because if they made a full-on Blitzball game with just Blitzball, I'd fucking play it. I'd buy it. I'd buy that shit for $40. I swear to God.
It's actually entertaining. I didn't have a problem with it like everybody else. Apart from me fucking up the tournament, so I had to play the tournament twice to get the legendary weapon because I wasn't paying attention to how I was supposed to do it. But the part I like about the most is the monster arena, because I've never seen anything like that in any of the other games, where you just have an area that you could just constantly fight any of the monsters in the game, most of them, not the bosses really, and then there's a whole section of
Doom Eternal.
A cauldron of different monsters that are just created for the arena. They're not found anywhere in the game. So that's what's cool. And then also, I guess for the international version / remaster version, the whole thing with the Dark Aeons and then you fight the super boss Penance, which I haven't actually beat him. The Dark Aeons are fucking hard. So,
well, it sounds like you've got a lot of streaming to do with that game if you're going to do something like that.
That's going to take forever. I'm going to wait on that.
I hear fear.
What do you got to say about it, Brooks? I saw you falling back into the void back there.
No, the audacity of
he got
caught. At the same time, I don't judge.
That's fair.
If I was legible, let me know.
I was halfway legible, but the point was the arrow was shot, and that's what matters. It hit its target.
Yeah. William, tell me more.
Well, my name's not William, but I can tell you that this is the Hey Listen podcast, and today we're going to change things up a little bit. Through the wise and ever-present council of friends that I have decided to split up the way that we do podcasts on the show. From now on, hopefully moving forward, we're going to focus solely on just roundtable open discussion for the podcast. Not something so super heavy focused on news and things like that, but mainly just real conversation about things. And moving forward into the future, we will be starting up a secondary podcast, our Hey Listen Gamecast. Also, let's all remember that the Hey Listen words in this whole title of what we are is still very much a quote-unquote A laser, if you would.
It's hashtag
Yes.
no, don't do it.
Yes. So the name is subject to change. So we'll get there when we'll cross the bridge when we get there.
So to start us off, war in Ukraine.
Oh my God.
I didn't sign up for this.
This did not become a political podcast overnight, I swear
Hey,
to
you
God.
said news, man. I was going for news.
No,
I'm
wrong
sorry.
news. Wrong news. Anyways, today on the podcast, we're going to have a few different topics to start us off on this new format. One of the topics we're going to start with is going to be something that everyone can get behind in their own special way. It's going to be the special conversation of what game do you really dislike? I was going to say hate, but hatred implies something super above what disliking a game would be. And I know that there's ways that you can dislike a game and not hate it, but tell me, could you off the top of your head tell me one game that you hate, that you would never touch ever again in your fucking life, no matter what? Nobody could pay you.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch.
I have one.
Or Infinite.
Okay, I'll take the
Who wants to
Infinite.
go
Infinite
first?
was garbage.
I'm very sir, teacher.
Let's start with Brooks. Let's start with Brooks.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Infinite.
Okay, I take that. That's fair.
The arcade fighter, right, and made it just devoid of skill, a pure button masher. Arcade to the point of no longer having technicalities of any for more sense. Oh, I cut out. I saw that.
Oh man,
Maybe put the mic closer to your mouth, like right here.
it's not that. I think it's a
This
cable
headset
hitting
has
his
a
his
terrible-
left arm. It's that left arm bubble.
When I had a mic in this headset, it was shitty like that too.
Well, while Brooks goes in and does some deep technical work on his microphone, I would like to put out here for the fighting game community that I don't believe that for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I actually like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but Infinite is pure hot garbage. Pure fucking fiery hot garbage.
I know nothing of these. So
I guess
that's all I
this is
know.
why I say it's kind of like the step along the path to Infinite. You know what I mean? It's like 2 was this perfect combination of arcadey, you know, but still, you
I
know,
agree.
combo centric. You know,
Yeah.
you couldn't walk into the arcade and just you get shut down.
Yeah.
Right? It's worse than it's worse than any insert childhood metaphor here. But like once you got to 3, it would start getting a little like, and then Infinite was just like the whole thing. Go.
Yeah. I played Infinite. I did download it. I tried it. It's just
I played it.
I don't know. I liked that they went back to the whole 6-button layout for Marvel vs. Capcom games, away from the 2-button layout, 2-button attack layout of 2.
Dig why that exists.
But 2 is a 2-button layout. The way you hit your medium attacks in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was you hit the light button twice. There was no medium attack. It was light and heavy.
Oh, so it's 4.
Yeah,
That's
it was
weird.
4. I meant 2 buttons as in punches.
That's
and kicks.
interesting
Yeah, you know
though,
what I mean,
because no, I didn't. That's why I made sure. Now I do 100%. But I remember playing in the arcade. The medium button totally was a thing. So I'm wondering if
medium button was a punch. Your heavy button would become your assist.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
I hear what you're saying.
It's
No, you're
weird.
right.
It's
Yeah,
different.
the way that
Because there's no bumpers.
yes, exactly. The
Yeah.
layout of it was light punch, and medium punch when you hit it twice. Medium punch was heavy punch, and then heavy punch was assist 1, and then
Well, Johnny?
same thing for kicks.
I agree.
So yeah, I'll take that. Actually, I'll take that. Street Fighter, not Street Fighter, fucking Marvel vs.
My
Capcom
next
3.
one.
Infinite was the
NBC3.
worst. But
Yu-Gi-Oh!
What?
Whoa.
I don't know why Infinite. Like, why is that worse? I don't know anything about these.
The problem
two
with
in
Infinite is
particular.
that Capcom lost a major licensing person that worked with them. So when they lost that, they lost a lot of their power to license out certain things. They did change the system up a little bit, but it did not change for the better. It changed much worse, and it added in what were they called? They added in the Infinity Stones, basically, right? And they added them to be a specific integral part of your combat, and they brought your teams down to 2v2. And it didn't work out the same way.
It's basically
that doesn't work.
Like super meters, you had basically super ultimate and infinity stone.
Yeah.
So it would be just like an animation attack, and
Yeah, they tried
that's on top of just like single button combos.
they tried to bring it back to the days of like Marvel superheroes, War of the Gems, and like Children of the Atom, that kind of old style 2v2 Marvel or Capcom fighting game. But they lost what magic that had
The gameplay.
because
You know, like some of the maybe some of the mechanics in essence,
yeah.
but the gameplay itself was not at all.
No. It was very much different, and I didn't like. I personally hated the inclusion of the Infinity. I thought the Infinity Stones were cool, but the way that they added them to the game to use, I just didn't enjoy it. It didn't feel the same as how you had them back in that old Marvel superheroes game. The Marvel superheroes game where you had Infinity Stones was super fucking fun, but
Heard.
But this one, the Infinite, just did not scratch the itch that I needed, and so
That's disappointing.
Here we are hating on Marvel Infinite. So, that's fair. I'll take that. No, we're not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Wrong card game.
Any game where you can win before I get a turn.
Oh my god, here we go.
Is not a good game.
It is a great game. You just have to be able to counter it.
But you can't.
You totally can.
If
There are
you
ways.
can win before I can play.
Okay.
In real life,
okay.
I'm not against the game because
Yeah.
there's a limit. I'm like, we're not rich. But if you have an infinite amount of things to choose from, build the OP perfect one.
To be fair, there were a lot of those in Master Duel, so I understand what you mean.
I'm scared. Is she good?
Moving on, Mr. Seeger. What about you? You were very gung ho about what you wanted to shoot out there.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi was the most disappointing $50 I ever spent on anything. I would rather spend $50 on a new fleshlight than that fucking game again. Because
How much
first you have, I don't know, new ones are $80, but that's another podcast. Because that could be.
How do you know these
smaller
accurate
one.
numbers? How do you know these
Because that
accurate
could be
numbers?
a
Man
smaller
does his
one.
research.
Portable. Anyway, so why do I hate the game?
Fun size.
You have a fantastic game series called Budokai 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Excellent.
Fucking gave a grand showcase for Dragon Ball Z in the fighting world. It was like, okay, this is fantastic.
I
Then
agree.
they hit you with Tenkaichi, and it's like, okay, now you have 3 dimensions instead of just side-scrolling, which is fantastic. And it's harder to fight because you have to go up and down and, everywhere instead of just side to side. And you don't do button combos.
Okay.
You just, map it to like a couple buttons and, okay, I can transform.
Mm-hmm.
But Ultimate Tenkaichi fucked it up because it was primarily a cutscene fight.
Yeah.
You would do a couple punches, knock someone to another screen, and then you have to do a rock, paper, scissors fight.
I
And
remember that.
that's all
Yeah.
it is. It's so... I tried to play it for more than an hour and I couldn't. I turned it off and I threw it away. It's...
So it is. So you find it worse than Burst?
Yeah, no, I didn't have a problem with Burst. Burst, I'm like, okay, they're trying to do a little bit of Budokai on the 360, and that was fine. I didn't have a problem with Raging Blast either. That was cool. I just
But
really
Raging Blast
hate...
is basically Budokai Tenkaichi.
It was for, the next gen or whatever, but I still didn't have a problem with that, because there's a huge roster and it was still fun to play. My favorite is still Tenkaichi 3, because I can
You
just
mean
shit on
Budokai
people. No, Tenkaichi 3.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is like that's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could shit on people in that game with just Omega Shenron and people would just get pissed off. You just stab them with
Did you ever
Dragon
play,
Thunder.
Did you play Fighter Z?
I have Fighter Z. I played it, and then I went online for one match, and I got my ass handed to me, and then I quit and uninstalled the game.
As is
Because that person
As is tradition.
100% had a fight stick, and I have a fucking game controller, and I'm like, nope, this isn't happening. So I quit.
Well, you're looking at the darling child right here. Mr. Brooks plays on gamepad
darling
all the
child.
time against
This
people
guy's a
that
badass,
have
then.
fight sticks.
Oh, you
What a
dog.
badass. The only only
Nice.
good thing
Super
that
Survivor.
Ultimate Tenkaichi had was the movie Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, because that was never shown in America.
Yeah, that was
And I wanted to see it. I watched it, and I'm like, okay, this is actually a shitty movie because it had to deal with Hachiyak or whatever. I'm like, oh, he's just like a weaker Broly, kind of. But it was still cool to watch because, it was a Dragon Ball movie or
It
whatever.
was a special extra.
Yeah. And they remastered it, too, in HD instead of, 480p resolution when it originally aired in Japan. But, yeah, in my opinion, it is the worst game I have ever played, and that's saying a lot considering I have a short temper and low patience for video games and a lot of shit in life. And I've died 100 times in Shovel Knight. I've died 150 times in Ori and the Blind Forest, but those aren't bad games. I just suck at them. Ultimate Tenkaichi is a terrible game. Nothing should ever be made like that.
No,
I hate
I get your point a lot. There's certain games where I will, and right, endlessly. I am a mountain of.
Lost him. Yeah. He's watching. He has his Discord up now, so he can watch the little green box.
What are games which I am a mountain of corpses? Oh, you son of a bitch!
Maybe we need to get him a blue Yeti.
You know what?
I did.
Corpses upon yourself is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
No,
there are games, man, where I'm dying and it's not my fault. It's like your camera angle. You're gonna do that.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's gonna be a great video.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take this moment to shamelessly put out an ad and say if you're watching for the first time or watching again, thank you for tuning in. If you would like to support us, please, there's a donate button. Your donations will go to buying equipment for our productions, including cameras and microphones. So if you want to hear what Brooks is saying, and you want to know exactly how he feels about all this, please, God, give us some money. Okay, done with the ad. Done with the self-ad.
I have here the microphone you're supposed to grab. The only one. Can you hear me? No.
I can hear you, strangely. Oh, something's on fire.
Nah, turn off my fan to be
On fire.
I have that really nice headset that doesn't have a microphone. The Sony one, we're straight off to the one you have with the microphone, remember?
Yeah. But we forgot, and then when we went to the party that time,
I got a little drunk.
Yeah, it's okay. Next time. So back to it. So Tenkaichi. That's it.
Ultimate Tenkaichi. Yeah, that's my most hated game. Ultimate Tenkaichi.
Ultimate. I'm sorry.
In the order of progression, which one was that one?
It came right after Budokai 3.
No. That came out because Budokai 1, 2, and 3 were on PlayStation 2. Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3 were on PlayStation 2. And then when it jumped to 360 and PS3, it was Ultimate Tenkaichi. And then it went to Burst, Limit, and then Raging Blast. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because, like, basically at that point, I stopped. The guy I was playing with all I was with growing up with my friend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. Okay, that's why I never heard of it. Or it's stuff, Karen.
I mean, in that day and age, Dragon Ball fighting games were like a dime a dozen, dude. They came out like every other year. They were basically what we have in Assassin's Creed now.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Exactly.
Skyrim Remastered.
Skyrim Remastered. Skyrim Special Edition. Skyrim Special Edition.
Anniversary Edition. Yeah.
Anniversary.
Skyrim VR. The list fucking goes on, dude. I don't know. I honestly
the very special edition for like Switch or whatever.
Yeah. They're gonna release a extreme special edition right before 6 comes out just to fuck with us.
Probably.
Well, dude, like Naughty Dog had that panel. Like, what was it? Brand new. You gotta be so excited for The Last of Us. The meme can't go on.
The meme can go on, but it won't go on.
No, scratch that. Reverse it.
The meme won't go on.
Can't go on, but it will go on.
Oh. All right. I'll round out this one with mine. I tried to put so much thought into this, and I really couldn't figure it out. But do you guys remember? What is that game? It's for the Super Nintendo. Oh man, it was the Super Nintendo, the Terminator 2 Super Nintendo game. I have so many bad memories of from when I was a child.
Never played it. Never heard of it.
It was Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It also came out on the Sega Genesis, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That game, too poor back then. Games.
That game
too young.
Beat my ass, and I never got past it, and I hated it every time.
Why?
It's because you never.
I was just not good at games back then. I've never gone back to play it now, so I couldn't tell you. I could probably go back.
Game.
No. Okay. Honestly, like I have a very high tolerance for video games. I haven't.
You do.
In the most recent histories, I can't recall a game I've bought that I've played that I've actually not enjoyed. Like all of the games we've played for review, preview, everything this year, I haven't found one.
I feel like there's definitely one or two, but like, I think you're similar to me. And to me, if like we actually don't like a game, pure evil, we forget about it. It's gone. It's not worth my time to actually harp on it, so I forget what it was. But if it's pure evil, they'll stick around. But those are rare. Those are very rare.
Like, part of the reason why Ultimate Tenkaichi I hate it too is because I love Dragon Ball Z. I was committed to playing every game that they released until that came out, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't because it was terrible. Just like the ones on the fucking Nintendo DS, it was terrible. Like
I don't know about that. There was a
I didn't like any of them.
There was a Dragon Ball game where you played Dragon Ball on the DS. That was super fucking fun. Like,
I don't remember.
Mega
It's been
fun.
a while.
That shit was good.
I remember the Game Gear. I'd play Star Wars.
I played Game Gear too. I had Star
There
Wars.
was not a Star Wars. Was there a Star Wars game on the Game Gear?
There was,
Yep.
motherfucker.
Was there?
That's where I played my
Which
my
one?
first Sonic game on that too.
I had Sonic before that.
Game Gear.
I'm already doing it. You're too late.
No, shut up.
Nerd.
Oh my
It's just
God.
called Star Wars.
Yeah, it is.
Star Wars for Sega Game Gear.
Is it it kind of basically just looks like fucking Super Star Wars.
Yeah, essentially, but with
Color.
better graphics. Color.
Super Star Wars had color.
No,
I never played that one.
I don't know.
It's like a mini version of it. It's like you ever see those Gundam SD chibi Gundam games?
I hate Gundam SD.
That's what the Star Wars Game Gear one was. It was
Nobody likes that series.
Eager, you are the Gundam SD of like society, man.
Wow, I thought he was gonna say Gundam Death Scythe, but I guess not. Wow,
he really wanted that compliment.
that's the best Gundam.
He was fishing for that compliment. Oh my god!
But that's another
How would I
podcast.
All
run
right.
into that? That doesn't make any sense. Like, you are the Gundam SD of Gundam Scythe.
Death Scythe.
I know I said it wrong, but it's kind of too late, and also my point stands.
All right. Let's move on to the next part. Let's move on to the next one. We've talked about most hated. What is your dream video game? Not your favorite video game of all time, but what is the dream video game that you could create? If you had an unlimited amount of money, a limited budget, and you had access to any studio, any developer, what would you do? It looks like last time I gave you the first one, Mr. Brooks. We're going to go to Sniffles first.
Okay.
What do you got, Seeger? Hit me.
Okay, so as I've spoken in Discord calls, I am a big MMORPG guy.
Yeah.
So, to me, if we had a combination of these games, we would have the perfect MMO of all time, which in turn would be my dream game. So if we had, let's say, Pearl Abyss, the team behind Black Desert, and now I think Arcade, because Arcade has gone through 3 publishers. They went through Tryon, which was terrible, Gamigo, which was terrible, and now they're at Pearl Abyss, which is apparently doing well. They made Black Desert Online, which is fantastic. And then you have XL Games, which is the actual developer of Arcade. So those 2 companies, plus either Square Enix or BioWare from their prime era, which was around the Old Republic and before all those awesome people quit the company. If you take all of those, mix them together, you'll have my dream game. I want the graphics and combat of Black Desert Online.
Okay.
And the vastness of the world, no loading screens, any of that. We don't really need, but actually no, dungeons and world bosses. I want the ability to put my fucking house anywhere, like in Arcade. That's what you do in a sandbox. You can't do that in BDO. Everything is instanced for buildings, unfortunately. That saves on lag, but still, I'd like to drop my house on an island.
Final Fantasy 14 too.
Yes, but it's not. It's different. Whereas Final Fantasy 14, you have zones. Black Desert, you just walk into a city. You don't load into a city. Walk into a city, go in a building, like in a house, and then there's a whole list of like, okay, I can go into this person's house if they let me in, or this house. But yeah, it's like that. And then you can just walk out the door, and you'll still see people outside the door. So if we mix that with the freedomness of Arcade, the ability to sail in the ocean, go under the water, because you can do that in BDO, but not so much, because they don't have submarines. They have submarines in Arcade, as well as go to a huge new continent. They don't have another big continent in BDO. And then you have the storytelling of BioWare and Square Enix. You'll have the perfect MMO, because a lot of MMOs skimp out on the story. They have typical, the world's ending. I'm like, I don't care. That typically not
I don't care. Let that asteroid hit the fucking world.
Because it's not convincing. It's like, why do I need to save the world? Why am I special?
Tell me about the world first. Make the world matter to me.
Build it up. And that's what Square Enix does. It makes you feel powerful because you're the warrior of light. You're really special. And Square Enix is known for making fantastic stories. I mean, my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
But that speaks to what I'm saying. And then you have BioWare. If you have the storytelling of that really unwrapped Star Wars for me when I was playing the game. And also the dialogue options make you feel special. It's a really good MMO. The Old Republic's a really good single-player MMO. The multiplayer aspects are kind of but when you play that game, you really feel like you're a special Star Wars character. And they're doing their job with the story. A lot of Korean MMORPGs do not care about the story. They're always out there to make a quick buck.
Not even that.
Here at Hey Listen, do not promote racism within the MMO.
It's not racism. It's a division. It's a specific area.
I don't think JRPGs are a thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
No, Korean RPGs.
Okay, RPGs. I know. I was doing that because.
But
technically, they're KMMORPGs.
They came out of the dark with Lost Ark. That's a fantastic game.
Lost Ark's amazing.
I still don't care about the story, but it's fantastic. Everywhere else that you can explore, it's huge open world game, way better than all the other ones. But if you combine all those elements, and then you combine it with also the content that keeps rolling out from Square Enix, they haven't disappointed anybody with any of their content. Other MMOs, like WoW, you get to Wrath of the Lich King, everyone's happy. You go to the next expansion, everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" And you keep going, and then they just keep going downhill. Same with Star Wars: The Old Republic. You get to Hut Cartel. Fantastic. Then you go to Shadow of Revan. It's like, okay, there's 2 Revans? This is a terrible story. And then you get to a point where... sorry.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys.
And then you get to a point...
Hope no one's still playing The Old Republic.
I'm going to eventually, but...
I kind of want to, too.
I need to finish it, but I know that like later in like Knights of Eternal Empire, Fallen Empire, and Knights of Eternal Throne, I think that's the title... The Sith and Jedi have to team up to fight a common enemy, which is the Emperor. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because nowhere in any Star Wars do they ever team up. That goes against their fucking ideals. Even in the Clone Wars, when you have Maul, he's not a Sith anymore. And he wants to team up, but he wants to poison a certain Jedi. And of course, somebody hasn't seen Clone Wars. I won't spoil that. That's
more spoilers, everyone.
I won't, but I didn't spoil it. But
that's not necessarily true. There's always like subterfuge. There's always an ulterior. But Jedi and Sith have fought before. Like it's just there's always an ulterior motive, and usually it's for one Sith to ascend above the other.
But they haven't done it in the canon. They haven't done that at all in the canon. So that's where I'm speaking to. Sometimes it'll happen.
He's speaking new Disney canon now.
Not George Lucas. They don't team up at all in any of that. They don't team up.
That's still technically new Disney canon.
No, it's Lucas and Disney, whatever. But because they don't do that. They don't do that in the 1 through 6. They don't do that really in. Well, there's no Sith in 7 through 9. But my point is,
I'm not.
That's another podcast.
This is going to be another podcast.
This is definitely a whole.
You're saying some stuff here right now that I'm saying flat out. What?
My point is that would be the perfect game for me, and I want it to be subscription because. Proof's in the pudding. Subscription usually equals a better game than buy to play or free to play. Definitely better than free, and especially better than the new model, which is play to earn, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. But that's the whole you play to earn crypto crap. And
yeah.
I hate it. It's absolutely garbage.
But that would make in-game currency to unlock stuff.
Basically,
no, you play to get Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. But it's like a super small, like. Insignificant fucking amount.
Yeah.
Hey man, I don't care, dude. Super nerd. So I'm gonna get myself that 1.0000. That's my $2.
That's not wrong.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I'd play.
That would be the prerequisite, and also like you need also the character customization of Black Desert because that so far has the best customization out of every MMO. You can really get detailed with how you want the face to look and whatnot.
It's not an MMO, but I'm saying, man, Ark's detailing, the amount of monstrosities I can make through Ark character creator is just
That's true, yeah. That is also another thing for another podcast because we could go on for hours about Ark.
Just
oh
disgusting.
My god.
But I will end my thing there. That would be the requirements for my dream game.
All right.
All right, MMO creators out there, take note.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
Please do.
Square Enix, take notes right now. This moment. Let's do this. Make it happen.
Yes.
Big budget.
Mr. Brooks, what do you got for me?
No. You're on next, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you.
All right. So everyone that knows me knows that I am a fucking huge fighting game fan. Mm-hmm. I love fighting games. Everyone else who knows me knows that I love anime. I fucking love anime. And you know what's a really good game that I really enjoy a lot right now? That I don't play that often, but is amazing? It's Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, you know what would be the best fucking game in the world? You guys remember back in the day when Shonen Jump did this thing where they made this fighting game for the DS called Jump Warriors?
Yeah, I know that one.
So Jump Warriors was really cool. It was kind of like a Super Smash Brothers version of a Shonen Jump game. So you get to play as all the characters, Luffy, Naruto, Ichigo, etc., etc., etc. No, not Jump Force. Jump Force
was an earlier iteration of what Jump Force was?
Exactly.
Right.
Those were amazing. The first one was great. Jump Universe, even fucking better. It was so good. It had an amazing customization style. Everything about it was perfect. Then Jump Force came out, and I cried myself to sleep after buying the game. It was just not what I wanted. It was nothing close to what I needed. And then Dragon Ball FighterZ came out. And I said, this is how you make an anime fighting game. So for me, I want Bandai Namco to publish an Arc Sys developed super mashup anime fighting game. Just looking from what Arc Sys has done in the last 5, 6, 7 years with all of their games, they know how to make a big game. They know how to make a big fighting game, a good fighting game, a technical fighting game. Everything from Guilty Gear Strive to DNF Duel, which is terribly unbalanced in the multiplayer apparently. But it's bad. Like apparently you get up to a rank and it's like 4 or 5 people just destroying everybody else in line.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's horrible.
They know what to do though. Guilty Gear Strive is the perfect example of how they've made a beautifully animated video game, a very beautifully developed and built from the ground up structurally video game. And fighting games as a whole, it's one of the most popular games out there right now. It's just so fucking good. I want one with Naruto fighting Goku. I want one where Ichigo goes up against Deku. I want to see Guts fight Denji. I want something insane. I want one of the best anime fighting games you could possibly think of with absolutely no limits. You want to see murder,
is what you're saying. You want to see children die.
Just and like it's funny because like people may think of Arc System Works as, you know, a good developer, but they're just not as big as Capcom. They're not as big as like SNK, you know, like they're not the forefathers, great godfathers of any of these systems. Yeah. They're good. They are amazing and they deserve to be up there on that spot, but they're not. And I think if you just give the time to them to make this game, you could have Naruto doing some crazy backflip Rasengan on somebody, just like Jiraiya or something. And you can do all sorts of really crazy stuff. It's just insane.
Just grab it?
Yeah. Yeah, just go for it. I already paid for it.
Yo, man, you scared the crap out of me. Who are you talking to?
Sorry. But yeah,
he's so embarrassed.
You need to have on the air on your door.
Yeah, so it's totally like
just talk on the doorknob, but like with like a on the air sock. You know?
A sock on the doorknob. But basically, the whole thing about it is that you would get that perfect anime fighting game. We've been waiting years for it. We got Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Dragon Ball FighterZ is finally adding rollback netcode to it as of Evo. That's going to be coming sometime later this year. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. I shit you not. Brooks, you're never going to have lag in that match again. You're never going to have to worry about it at all. All right. So, before we were so rudely interrupted by my Domino's driver.
And cut. Let's go back to normal.
So, before that, like I was saying, Arc Sys...
Did you just see that?
What?
His lag spiked to perfect fucking freeze frame?
Who?
I did not see it. I was looking at you. I was looking at you, not at him, so I couldn't see it.
He did. And cut.
Marionette.
I didn't get any lag. The fucking...
Me and Johnny were still smooth. I don't know. It's on my end. It's not my fault. No full responsibility.
So on top of Arc Sys being the developer for this and making phenomenal games, there's a secondary reason why I want Bandai Namco to publish.
Bandai,
Bandai, whatever.
Bandai, UI, whatever.
Bandai Namco has amazing talent when it comes to license acquisition.
Yeah.
How many times have anime companies gone to them to make something and they just dish it out from whatever developer they can find? Way more than twice. I'll give you that much. Like, a lot. Bandai Namco does everything. And if you look at games like Tekken, look at games like Soul Calibur, all these games are really well done to some extent. Not maybe Soul Calibur 6, maybe not that
You guys
great.
ready to fight me?
Tekken has been done well.
I don't like Tekken.
I know you don't like
Soul Calibur.
I like Tekken. It's fine.
Tekken's good. Tekken is really well rounded and really well done.
But I just want to cheer you guys. I don't hate it actually. That's not fair. I have no problem with it.
I'd like to note that Bandai or Dragon Ball FighterZ is awesome for the fact that they added dubs, because a lot of anime fighting games, they're too fucking lazy to hire the dub actors, so it's in Japanese, so I won't fucking play it. Like all the One Piece games, I'm not fucking playing it because they don't want to hire the voice actor, but they'll do it for Dragon Ball. So continue.
Interesting.
Aside from that little tidbit of information, Bandai Namco knows.
I'm embarrassed that both you guys are dub heads, to be honest.
I am. Oh, whoa.
That's what it is. I'm the biggest dub head ever.
I am only dub for some animes. There's literally 3.
Am I the only one seeing the irony
you right now. I will name them to you right now.
Go ahead.
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh.
Dragon
Steve
Ball
Bloom.
Z.
Yeah.
And Full Metal Alchemist.
Brotherhood.
There are some in which I accept both, but I don't think there's a single one in which I don't,
That's another podcast.
We will have an anime one. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
That one's a long time coming.
That's an anime segment right there.
So our story starts about a long time ago. Blue.
No, Grand Blue, no One Piece. Although, I mean, like, think of it. Imagine it. Imagine this game that is just so perfectly well done. The move list, the move sets for each of the characters is perfect down to the tone of how they are.
The game that you're talking about is almost like one of those games where I need to have every.
Why did it cut out right when you started explaining
I know, right? What the fuck?
Right when it started happening. Continue.
To make it work perfectly, what you need to do is have every single character truly encompass a different genre of fighting. If you had them be all the same, even with different movesets, you would not feel truly to encompass a different world.
Yeah.
You would have a combining of worlds of universes in a battle together. Different movesets to the core. Super Smash Brothers versus Tekken. Tekken versus Kirby. I don't know.
They've already done Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That worked decently.
Yeah.
It was decent.
I still want to play Poke Tekken, but that's not my problem. I'm talking about like every character is a different. Wherever my microphone is, I'm gonna find. Every character is a literal different universe. Naruto, right? Yeah. You have all the jutsu, so almost plays as if a summoner type of like long range, but like more than just a character, an actual fighting game style. You know, you have Goku. He's gonna play straight up just brawler. You know what I mean? He'll play like almost like a button masher in a sense. You know, you got Dooku or something. It breaks your finger every time you try to press a button. My Hero Academia reference.
Dooku. I'm like Star Wars.
No, I said Deku, but it had a little twang on it.
He has to speak. Obviously, he has to speak in an accent, or else his microphone doesn't pick it up.
Apparently so.
I didn't make the rules.
He didn't. I didn't even make the rules, and I don't know what's going on.
Anyway,
so yeah,
it sounds like someone who made the rules would say,
So that's my dream game right there. I need the perfect anime fighting game by them. Those people. Okay. It has to be ArcSys. It has to be Bandai Namco.
Elf dating sim.
That's your dream game?
Mixed in with
Ganguro Girl.
Alien Hamid. Mixed in with Raiden. Mixed in with Metal Slug.
Wow.
How can you mash up 2 different shoot 'em ups like that? How?
That's, easily. You ever played Robotech?
I have.
Yes.
On foot, on air, on different air.
On different air. I was gonna say
form. They totally act like that was a third form. This is the thing.
I was gonna say, you do make a point. I don't recall the Velocity. There's an old shoot 'em up game called Velocity on PlayStation. Velocity and Velocity 2X. Both of those games encompassed exactly almost what you said.
That's funny.
Some parts it was a side-scrolling shooter like Metal Slug almost. More like the older like Robotech kind of games. but then it would also transition angle-wise to change into a Raiden style shoot 'em up. And it would switch back and forth between those for the levels, and it was super fun. And if you haven't played it,
that was really cool.
y'all have to try it. I think I still have Velocity 2X on my PlayStation account, so when you get your PS4 set up, you've got to download it. I think you will love it. But yeah.
The actual game I put down for this was the dream game that Skyrim made me think was coming. I love science fiction more than I love fantasy on a huge level. I love the worlds made. I think that they've made the best RPGs in the longest time.
Western RPGs.
Racist. Their combat systems have been ass. Just horrible combat systems. I couldn't get in. Morrowind is a meme, but I can't finish it because the combat's awful.
I agree.
Oblivion. Yeah. For me, the same. Other people are fine. Me, the same. Skyrim was the first game where it had that immersive an open world and then actually felt semi-smooth. So in my head, the next Fallout, that was going to be beautiful.
Yeah. 4 was a disappointment.
And
76 was a disappointment.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to truly get that kind of approach to a sci-fi RPG, like, Mass Effect 1 mixed in with freaking Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, I need some new pants, please,
I love Mass Effect.
That resonates with me really hard right now because I'm actually replaying Mass Effect 1 on PC.
Dude.
That's my favorite game series, those 3.
They were great. I beat those games through GameFly, man. That's how much I liked them.
Played them in a week, sent that shit back, and got the next.
Weekend, motherfucker, because I had school.
That's right.
And I still got every single girl. You know what I'm saying? Like a gentleman.
I just wish that Sheogorath was in Skyrim. He was a cool character from Oblivion.
Yeah,
he was great.
The mad
god
Scotsman.
of madness. Yeah,
he's
from the Shivering Isles.
He is, but he's not in there the same way. He's a disembodied voice. Sheogorath.
No, you see his body through his quest, but I get what you're saying. He's not in a main.
Now we cut out.
Oh.
I said he's there for.
I think your mic is racist now.
It's not racist. It's just really stupid. He doesn't know that I know where it's. So,
anyway,
he's there, but only for a meme. He's only there for his quest line. You see him in body. He has a body, but then he's gone.
Yeah.
He's not there as a main antagonistic force.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish he had more of a presence because he's such a great character.
He's always been the Irishman. I like him too.
His DLC in Oblivion was honestly one of my favorite DLCs of all time. It was just so much fun.
Awesome.
It was so good, and it was so nice to see a different fucking environment.
Yep.
I did like it was honestly not as great as it could have been, I feel, but having that Morrowind little peak in Skyrim, that was really cool. They didn't have to do that. I saw you cut out. It only cut out touch. So
speaking of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls games, I've had my eye on 2 groups. There's a group called Skywind that's trying to basically make Morrowind in Skyrim, and then there's Skyblivion, which they're doing it with Oblivion.
I have seen Skyblivion.
They're taking forever. I don't think it's ever going to come out.
It's going to come out. Did you see the last developer video that they put out, like maybe a month and a half?
Which group of the 2
for Skyblivion?
For Skyblivion? Yeah. Oh, okay.
They put something out like a month and a half, or no, it was like 2 or 3 months ago, I think, maybe, right?
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They put out a dev video showing off like they've added in like goblins and goblin camps along with clans for those goblin camps, and that they all have like intersecting storylines and some crazy shit. I was just like, what is going on?
Okay, I'll have to check it out. I follow them on Facebook.
It's really cool. I'll send you the link after we're done with this. But like, oh my god,
I found the trailer. But
yeah.
But anyway,
I'm just testing my mic. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I just changed the setting for my microphone. Sorry.
You're good. It looks like it might be working better now.
Continue. Yeah.
I was done.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're done? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have
What's the next segment?
Oh my
I
God.
didn't have a big one for that one, to be honest. I had that spiel about the sci-fi Skyrim, and
yeah.
I had a couple jokes. That's it.
I have a question then, since you talked about that being your thing with the Elder Scrolls. What do you think of ESO?
Hmm?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
It's not
I have the
bad.
same reaction. I
It's
played the
not
beta and I was
bad.
disappointed.
It's
Wasted my $60.
but it's not bad. And you fucked up. You should have waited till it went on sale. It goes on sale for $10 almost every
I
other
bought
month.
it on launch because
There's a reason why.
Next MMO, and then I was like, no, it's not.
It goes on sale because they want you to buy the DLCs.
Well, yeah, 100%. But also, like, it didn't take long to certainly be on sale.
Yeah, I know.
It took
But that's
about
another
2 or
podcast
3.
about me
Yeah.
ranting about MMOs.
Hey, honestly, I'll sit here and defend ESO, but yeah, different podcast.
I think it's
We
a
will
great
make
attempt.
one.
I mean, but it's not. No, I don't think it's a great attempt at all, actually. I think they basically bit off way more than they were willing to do.
Yeah.
They had this concept that maybe was a good idea, but they were nowhere near willing to do the work to do it justice. Like, the way they described it as, like, the world of Skyrim, but each continent's that size. And it's like,
Yeah.
you get like a...
Yeah.
I was going to add to what you were saying about how you like sci-fi. I was watching a review of why Fallout 4 and 76 didn't do so well. One big thing with sci-fi is, the exploration of the worlds and stuff like you were talking about. When it comes to Fallout, it's not really fun to hang around dead things all the time. Dead buildings, dead landscapes. It's like, okay, I don't want to look at this all day long. I want to look at something pretty. Like No Man's Sky is pretty.
I disagree with that concept. I hear what you're saying, but then also there are plenty of games that are, the Warhammer universe. You know what I mean? There are plenty of, like, this whole universe is based upon nothing but shit. Nothing but bad, evil, mierda. I mean, Berserk.
I was just about to say Berserk.
No, yeah, that's fine.
But I'm
like,
just saying,
you're
like,
playing a video game, I don't want to be him like, oh god, it's so depressing, because I know it's post-apocalyptic, but when you're in Skyrim, everything's fucking beautiful, massive landscapes. You can look at the fucking sky and see, constellations and shit.
My point being, those two are not actually mutually exclusive. Through Fallout, they were portrayed that way. I hear what you're saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the actual subject matter itself, in no way, has to be so unknown. You can have pure desolation and have it still be eerily beautiful, gorgeous, huge expanses. That is not one is not to create one is not destroy the other. It wasn't handled that way. It wasn't done that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Fallout 3 and New Vegas were good. Yeah.
Dude, Cowboy Bebop. Actually, all fucked up.
That is.
Trigun. Everything.
Oh no, yeah, Trigun is all.
Can't wait for the new thing.
Me too. See that there's another
new podcast,
anime podcast.
Along.
We're putting it on the anime podcast.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about anything in this one.
Next week,
we're trying to keep a schedule.
Next episode, we're doing an anime podcast. That's it.
Fuck it.
We have too many thoughts right now on anime.
Yeah. How could you two?
And you need to fix your mic too next week too, John, because you also cut out.
Huh?
Very rarely.
You cut out quickly and not as often as he does, but watch the playback, it does cut out.
It's probably me redlining on my microphone.
Okay. Anywho, what's the next thing?
So the next thing we're going to talk about. This one doesn't actually seem like it's going to be super long or anything, but I would like to hear your impressions of it, and I'm going to start this one out. What's the one soundtrack that after years...
Wait. One?
Not one song, but what is the soundtrack that you have never gotten over ever since you played a game? And I
have 3.
How do you have 3? I said 1! Pick one soundtrack for a video game.
It's 1, 2, 3.
Pick your favorite. Pick your favorite.
You have 1, I have 2, he has 3.
Oh my god. All right.
Just say it. We don't have to spend too much time talking about it.
Is that a back scratcher?
What?
Is that a back scratcher?
Yeah. $2.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Mine's wooden. Anyway.
You get a CDS. I don't care.
No.
Continue. Let's just go in order.
Johnny, start with the 1 or 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
You can start. He said he'd start.
I'll start.
Johnny's turn to start.
Hurry up.
1.
Final Fantasy VII. Best video game soundtrack of all time. Every single song on that soundtrack has stuck with me through my whole life. Every single fucking song. I can listen to that album on repeat over and over and over again. My favorite song is the Overworld theme, World theme. And it's just so good. Just so much emotion. So much color.
Start getting those feels of eco-terrorism, you know?
Yes. Eco-terrorism, the world dying, being a badass, everything. It's so good in your camp. Yeah, nice blur effect there, buddy.
It's not working. I can't do it. It says Final Fantasy VII sucks. Anyway, continue. That's another podcast.
Turn off the background blur, probably.
Yeah, or turn off the haterade. Either one. Anyways, 7 has the best soundtrack of any Final Fantasy game, I might add. Any Final Fantasy game.
Wait.
Every Final Fantasy game.
No.
It has the best soundtrack of every Square Enix game. It has the best soundtrack from every fucking game I have ever played. And it is just constantly classic. Yes, it's made me cry. The music in that game is so fucking iconic. Final Fantasy XIV story, I could give two shits about. I'm talking about the music. The music is great. The music's good. I will never. I'm not saying that. I'm not shitting on the fact that every Final Fantasy has good music. I am shitting on the fact that 7 is better than all their music. They are all good. They are all great. Even 15 has good music.
See the aneurysms forming.
But 7 is the best Final Fantasy soundtrack, the best video game soundtrack of all time. It is just classic and timeless.
I like this. You know why? Because this went from everyone saying their favorite to now Johnny has made it a competition. Now these are at war with each other. And I have an advantage over Johnny. You have an advantage over both of us because we have more in our tanks. He's only got the one. So he is betting harder on the one, but we'll see what happens.
I'll bet harder on the one.
My choices.
Let us know in the comments, guys. Yep. Once we hear the options.
Strike.
Ooh, that is a good one. That is such a good one. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Third strike.
That is 3 on my list. Number 3.
I don't remember that music, but it's a good game.
It is one of the most classic combos of hip-hop and fighting game music I've ever heard.
It personified the genre of hip-hop fighting game music, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Johnny, you familiar with this? Enter the Gungeon. The banger of all bangers. To stop all bangers. The title screen you will turn on and not play the game. I streamed that title screen for like 6 hours. Didn't play the game. I had viewers.
He did have viewers.
What game?
Enter the Gungeon.
The hell is that?
Gungeon.
It is
the greatest pun game ever made.
Oh my god, it's a pun game.
It's not totally a pun game. It is a very big
game that is not a pun.
It is a very big pun game, but it's basically a bullet hell shooter.
It's a what?
It's a roguelike bullet hell shooter.
I'm looking at it on Steam. Okay.
It's good. It is so good.
It's pretty.
It is hysterical.
I love how shiny everything is. Okay. Cool.
It has the JK-47, the AK-47 that's a balloon.
Yeah.
It has the shell, the giant shotgun shell that shoots shotguns.
That's awesome.
You have the blooper, the gun from Looper that shoots out blue things that makes people just fly off the screen. You have the water balloon, water gun, and then the balloon. The balloon makes you float. You have I can't remember. Oh yeah, you have the down, forward, up punch, which is a fireball gun. It's all references to puns. It's literally all it is, and it's amazing. The boss is like the Gorgon, Dragon, the Gatling Gull.
What's the first one? The
Gatling Gull.
Is it Gatling Gull?
Yeah, the bird, your giant crow flies up and he goes, just gets yoked as fuck, pulls out a chain gun.
It's a fucking meme. That's hilarious.
The game is definitely a walking meme, but it's super fun and it's worth it.
The title screen.
My wish list.
The title screen, my friends.
Okay, so that's your
slaps.
I'll have to check
it out.
Title
screen slaps, bruh.
To be fair, he's right. It's a really good soundtrack, and it's very fun. So there's the 2 from Brooks.
All right.
The lonely country turns its eyes to you, Seeger.
I know you're gonna hate this one, but Final Fantasy X soundtrack. Because first of all, to Xanarkin. I get emotional every time I hear it because, my brother played the shit out of it because your cousin Nick.
Yep.
He played the shit out of it when he used to play the piano. It's a very powerful song, and that's the essence of the game. That is the best song in the entire soundtrack because it's all about the city of Xanarkin, which is the main point of the game. And then another song that's a part of that soundtrack that Rammstein is cool, but that Square didn't like that music. That's their song. I like Orin's theme song. It's really, I don't know why but it fits his character perfectly, and he is my favorite character out of the entire game. He's the best Final Fantasy character, in my opinion, but that's another podcast, or another topic. But yeah, I love the shit out of that soundtrack. And another song I like on that soundtrack is Besaid Island, because it's just acoustic guitar. You just listen to it, and I can just sit there on the fucking island and just, pluck away on my acoustic that's collecting dust somewhere. But anyway, so I think it's in the shed. Yeah. She has a big crack in the middle because I'm stupid. But anyway, that's the first. The second would be the whole encompassing all the Mass Effect. All the Mass Effect. Because especially 3, because of how powerful the music is. There's 2 songs. I don't know what the fuck their name is. One of them has the stupid Bram noise in it. If you just take that out, someone edited that, took it out, and mixed it with a different song. It became one of the most epic songs I ever listened to. It's just it blows your head out of proportion because you're already playing a fucking sci-fi game where you get to travel the fucking Milky Way and you have to save the Milky Way, and then the music just adds to it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is actually Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack, because there are 2 songs in there that are extremely powerful that'll trigger emotions. I won't say what kind of emotions for spoiler, but that was an amazing soundtrack. I've always loved the sound of Western music. I do not want to live in that time period because, you get itchy balls and you're basically going to die because nobody can cure you back then like today. But I always loved the sound of Western soundtracks in TV shows, movies, and games, and this one nailed it perfectly. So, yeah, those are my 3 soundtrack choices.
Are you saying you get itchy balls now and you're safe?
No. I mean, you can get itchy balls if you, scratch it and then because it's sweaty or something. Yeah, you'd be safe because you just put powder on it. They didn't have powder like that. They didn't have baby powder.
I think they call that crabs, Snivels.
No, I don't have crab. The fuck?
Why are you powdering babies?
Why are you powdering balls with crabs?
They get ass rashes. Because I sweat, so I got to powder my nuts. That's another podcast. Anyway.
I sweat. I don't powder my moles yet.
Well, I don't want to chafe, and this shit hurts. So, yeah. Anyway. Last part.
I will give Brooks 3 points. His choices were very good.
We don't get to decide. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. This is for the fans at home, the audience.
I'll give Seeger 2 points because Final Fantasy X is a good soundtrack.
I give you 0 points.
The other 2 were meh.
I give you.
Did you beat Red Dead Redemption 2, son?
I played through 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours of it, and I was just like, I'm done.
We mostly sat around, killed each other, and played poker.
We played Red Dead Online, and that's what we did. But when I played the game, I just couldn't get into it. Arthur Morgan's character. Sidebar. Arthur Morgan's character is not that fucking great. Arthur Morgan is not great.
You like John Marston over him? I hate you. No, because this is why. This is why he's boring. He's a standard cowboy. I'm going to do good, shoot up the bad guys. How fucking predictable of a story is that?
How classic of a Western story is that? It's a classic Western story.
It's overused. When you
most Westerns, that wasn't the story. The main character in most Westerns is not a good guy.
Yeah.
He's the hero. He is the protagonist.
Yeah, there you go.
But he's a hero.
He's definitely not good.
He's the wanderer. He kills motherfuckers for money.
Yeah, but none of those stories are like Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan is a criminal. He knows he's fucked up his place in life, and you, as the player, have to help him decide how he's going to end his journey in his life. Are you going to embrace being a criminal, or are you going to be a good Samaritan?
Here you go.
I chose to be a good Samaritan.
Here's my hot take for this episode.
Prototype. I'm gonna choose how I'm gonna end this game. That's right. We killed them all.
Oh my god, I couldn't.
Here's my hot take for this.
You didn't play Prototype?
No.
Prototype is actually really good.
Oh wait, you said Prototype. Yeah, I played that. I don't remember much of the story. Anyway,
all I remember is crazy powers, murder the whole city.
Yep.
Morality choices. That's all.
Yeah. Hot take for this episode. Hot take. You only get one per episode, and this is mine.
Okay.
Wait,
I would rather play through Abby's story in The Last of Us 2 again than play as Arthur Morgan.
I didn't play The Last of Us 2, so I don't know.
I could hear the trigger words in your sentence, but they didn't hit any notes. Sorry.
Anyway,
That's what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna play that. Put it up everywhere. I'm gonna live by it. Go ahead, blow me up.
I'm gonna
Where's
shit on
Johnny
you.
and where am I in relation to you?
What?
Where am I and where's Johnny in relation to you?
We make a
In terms of
triangle.
what? Yeah, I'm on the top right. You're on the top left, Brooks, and John is below.
Same for you, Johnny?
Oh! You mean on Discord? I thought you meant in real life. I was like, we make a triangle. He lives over in Azusa. I live in Orange County. You live in Burbank.
I don't live. What are you?
Oh no, you moved. That's
Anything
right.
with
I
3
forgot.
points is a triangle. Anything with 3 points is a triangle. He's technically right. It's a weird
Will
looking.
you cut that out?
It's a really,
Who the
really
hell?
thin triangle.
Why are you telling people where we live? Cut that out of the video. You
What are
idiot.
they gonna do? Walk up to us and ask us for an autograph?
69.69 at 69 Avenue.
Anyway,
69.
the last segment.
All right, let's get this last segment out of here.
What, Johnny? I want to make sure. Are you below me in your?
No, I am below Sniffles.
Yeah, but that means you're below both.
Oh, you're tripled, huh?
Yeah, I have it tripled. I triple it. I have to triple it out for
I'm glad.
the video
Every time
recording.
I pointed at you tonight, I've been pointing at you for you.
Every time I point at you, I'm
You know
pointing
what?
at you.
What's great is that you guys actually are pointing at each other on the recording because technically he is to the bottom left of you and Brooks is to the right of you. So every time you guys point towards each other, you're pointing right.
That's impossible.
Because
I know, right?
this is Brooks
Anyway,
and that is.
Moving on. Never mind. Okay.
cut that out. Anyway,
God.
blooper.
All right.
Come on.
Let's finish this one out
schedule.
real quick. Finish it out hard. Finish it out real hard.
Let's go.
I used to be an adventurer until I figured out what my favorite quote from a video game was.
Cheesy.
Okay.
Ooh.
I can hear you. I can
Hey,
hear my
listen.
adoring crowd yelling for me, cheering me on as I speak this. Let's start with you, Brooks. You seem to have the most thoughts and opinions on this. What's your favorite video game quote?
Snake.
Fuck, that's a good one. I should have thought of that. Fuck.
Yeah. Come on, man.
That
Y'all gonna
is-
bring them all out for the before?
It's classic, iconic. It's modern, even. It's top notch.
Oh, why, thank you. But if you want to talk about the one that really grinds my gears, boil my toil, really screws up in there, it's Dudley. Also from Third Strike. That smooth-talking lion son of a boxing bastard keeps saying, like, oh, let's fight like gentlemen. And then, you're nothing. You're nothing, you disgusting. How dare you say that to me, Dudley? How dare you?
I thought you were a gentleman.
Getting my ass whipped 30 times in a row hearing that shit, I can't stand it no more. I snap. I want postal on my I had to mail myself in the mail. Didn't go anywhere.
That's fair. What about you, Seeger?
I just got reminded. I thought I had all these meme ones, and I'm like, wait, there is a good quote I actually like, and it's actually, here we go, from Final Fantasy X.
Oh,
It is.
here we
when
go.
Auron-
Wow, I should have seen this coming.
it's when Auron is fighting Unalesca. You remember his quote? He was like,
Ayahuasca.
now, this is it. Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands. That was a very powerful moment because they were really faced with an impossible, fucking task because they're on the way to fight Sin, the greatest fucking evil in all the land, and they're like halfway there, they're like close to that, and they're like, shit, I don't know if we're gonna do this. And he just puts his foot down. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. We have to keep going with the speech. I really like that speech. I thought I would find something that Commander Shepard would say, but I couldn't.
He's
Apart
like,
from
we're gonna
we'll bang,
do
okay?
this. We got this.
We'll bang, okay?
Lock and load. I'll bang you after we kill the aliens.
But yeah, that's my favorite quote is Auron. He's my favorite character. Shut up.
No, he's very. I like Mass Effect a lot. I like him as a character, but he is very.
No, I meant Auron.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know him that well, so I got it.
John,
All right.
yours?
Mine is one that I hold very near and dear to my heart. I let its deep words sink into my veins as I watched it print itself onto my hands. And if anyone would like to recall an amazing title, a standout title, a revolutionary title, I would say, from BioShock 1.
Oh, it's a good game.
An amazing game.
And I hope it's from one of the random, like, fucked up dudes, too. Like, just, bring
You know, if I had thought it through better, it might have been. But no,
What do you got?
I'm gonna hit you with the obvious. I'm gonna hit you with the classics. A man chooses, a slave obeys. Words that have been ingrained on me and in my body ever since the moment that it happened. Your main character Jack is going up to fight the big bad. You finally reach Ryan. And spoiler alert: if you haven't played BioShock by now, you fucked up. You're just gonna have to listen.
Yeah,
to me talk
it's
about
been
this.
out forever. Yeah.
You finally make it. You finally make it to the end. You reach Ryan.
Yeah.
You look him dead in the eye, and he starts telling you everything you know is a lie.
Yeah.
If you sit back and look at it, anytime you've been told to do something, asked to do something, it was told to you in a very specific way. Do you know why it happened that way? It's because I wanted it to happen that way.
Oh yeah.
And then you
So
get your
all the
flashback.
keywords you never noticed. That was
Exactly. All the
Yeah, you're like,
keywords and
"Oh,
every phrase.
shit."
Every time someone tells you to do something, would you kindly? Would you kindly?
Yep, would you
And
kindly.
It's fucking amazing. And as you sit there and realize that your whole life is a lie, Andrew Ryan just takes the nail and digs it in further and says, "Here, let me prove it to you." Hands you his cane, tells you, "Remember, a man chooses, a slave obeys. Would you kindly kill me?" And your character, helpless to it all, reaches up with his cane, shaking at hand like he's gonna die from trying to stop it, and beats Andrew Ryan to death.
Yep.
And that
But
moment...
I got something for you right now, Johnny. What if you were never mind-controlled at all? The shaking is you wanting to kill him, as that was your main objective the entire game, and you being torn by the psychological mindfuck he just delivered you, and wondering if, are my choices my own? The entire time, what if they were? And this is all just a ploy. And so that shaking is not him fighting mind control. No, it's him battling himself with his own choices.
That is a good one.
I don't know. It's not right now.
That is a good thought. We're going to have a philosophical episode about video games.
At
stuff
some
one day.
point, yes.
I have one more before it's over. Because it's a line that stuck with me my entire life.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck. That's a good one.
All right.
Request permission to leave the station. What, Master Chief? Give the Covenant back their bomb.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good.
That is
I was a
really-
kid, man. That was the coolest thing in the world. I was just like,
Oh yeah.
Chills right through the spine.
that
We're
trailer
not
for it when it came out.
Oh
That was
yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
That has to be one of the
Okay,
best.
that's pretty badass.
One of the best intros to a video game of all time.
I agree.
So
shit.
good. So yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
when like Keys gives you the gun, but in Legendary you don't get the gun, so you like go farther away and shit.
We don't talk about the glitches and problems of old games right now.
No, that's where like I mean, Halo was one of those games designed with glitches in mind. But we talked about that like 2 podcasts ago.
Something like that, yeah. We didn't really dive deep into it, but we brushed it.
Glitches? Yeah, we kind of did.
Did we? Oh yeah, we did brush over glitches.
I think it was just me and you though. That was why I felt as big. That's why.
maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'll have to go
Anyway.
back and check it out. Anyways,
This ain't it, Chief.
for
This
today,
ain't it.
this ain't it. And today we're gonna have to end it right there. Thank you everyone for tuning in for the podcast. We've had a lot of fun. We're glad that you guys tuned in. Please continue to support us by giving us a like and a subscription. Click that follow button. Join us
Got a
on
lot planned for
Twitter.
you guys.
Join us on Instagram. You can find us on both at Hey Listen Cast, all one word. You can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Hey Listen Official. You can also find us on YouTube by searching Hey Listen Gaming. That's Hey with an exclamation point, Listen with an exclamation point, and then Gaming afterwards. If you
And soon, our OnlyFans will be up, showing the greatest in video game technology.
I was gonna plug myself, and then he comes in here for this.
I said hours.
If you like, go check out our YouTube channel. We have a Gigabash review that I put up there as a review
Excellent
that
review.
we got.
Pretty good.
It's been pretty good so far. If you want to know more about this crazy kaiju beat 'em up game, arena brawling, Godzilla-like, then please go check out the video and find out why you need to buy this game and try it for yourself.
Yes.
Mr. Sniffles, if anyone would like to catch you on Twitch or on YouTube or on anything, how could they reach you?
Well, my Twitch is twitch.tv/SeegerPlays, SEGER Plays. My Instagrams are also at Seeger Plays or at Seeger VFX. And Twitter is the same, at Seeger Plays.
And Mr. Brooks, what about you? How can people stay up to date with you and your musical endeavors in this world?
I don't know, I'll be at work, sometime this week. Sometimes I'll go down to this liquor store. Mostly right now through Hey Listen, keep your eye there. If you happen to have the chance, follow Laura Realm of RMC on Instagram. Probably some new music, but mostly it's through Hey Listen right now. You always see us on Twitch playing different games. You catch me through there. You catch me here talking with these two lovely gentlemen. And yeah, liquor stores, corner markets, whatever you got.
Oh man, that was a hard lag. That was gnarly.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh dear, you lagged hard.
It was so crazy. All right,
did it
folks.
again.
Thanks again for tuning in. If you're watching us, please give us a like and a subscribe. And till next time, game like you mean it.
Yep.